I'm Steve Kenyon with Greener Pastures Ranching. We're here today to look at my Sidekick. I get a lot of people asking me what kind of tools and equipment I use in my grazing management. So we're going to go through the Sidekick here and kind of take a look at all the different things that I stick inside this little unit. The Sidekick itself is a little 4x4. I basically call it a big quad, but it's got a windshield, a radio, and a heater. So I love these things. This is actually my fourth one, and very useful on the farm, run around on the pasture. So let's take a look at the attachments I've got on it. So when I bought this Sidekick a couple of years ago, I was really lucky. This was already all rigged up for me. Front end of this machine has a 8,000-pound winch, very handy when you're in the mud or in the trees or anytime you're gonna get stuck in the snow, wherever. Also has this handy rack on the front. Put all sorts of stuff on here. Carry salt blocks and batteries and whatever. You know, I'll lock up my brakes for a good tarp strap on the highway because those are hard to come by. So tarp straps are important on here to hold stuff down. We got it right on the side here. This is actually my wire unroller, and it actually attaches to the back onto the bumper. I've got it rigged up. It's just here temporarily, a place to hold it. Step-in posts, really handy to hold them up here. I've got some temporary, little bit stronger posts, power flex posts there as well. Chainsaw is always a good idea. We've got a lot of trees and a lot of fences to check, so a chainsaw is always a good thing. I've got a tow strap that's always connected. It's all I gotta do is unwrap it and pull stuff around or get pulled out or pull somebody out. Booster cables, I got lots of batteries out there. Booster cables are pretty handy to have around here too. And it's always handy to have a shovel strapped in there too. It's always with me because you never know when you need a shovel to look at some soil. Yeah, really handy to be able to move things around without a box like a pickup truck. I need some place to carry stuff. So this Sidekick actually came with a hard top, which is kind of nice. I don't take it off very often because I get enough sun in the day, but it does have a roof rack on the top. And then as you can see, we got a little bit heavier duty roof rack up there. That is actually a cage that's supposed to mount out of the hitch here. But we got some pretty rough pastures and I actually snapped it off. So it used to ride back here, which was really handy to be able to put salt blocks and things like that on. But when I broke it, it actually made it easier for me because I pull a lot of things with this too. Water tanks, I've got a little trailer I pull with it, the post pounder we can pull with this. So it's nice to be able to keep the hitch in here. And then the rack now technically goes up on the roof. And really handy, we've got extra fuel up there because I've constantly got generators and pumps that I need to fill. Hand pounder up there for hand pounding posts, extra wire or whatever else I want to carry up there. You might wonder why there's saddlebags on the tire, just something else to carry things in. I had this old set of saddlebags that hadn't been used for years, and this side's actually for garbage and this side's actually for tie straps. You never know when you got to tie something else down somewhere somehow. So yeah, it's really handy to be able to have all this carrying capacity on here because yeah, without the box of a pickup truck, there's not a lot of place to carry stuff. So, and then we've got inside. So inside we've got all sorts of buckets and containers. Nice thing about these Sidekicks is the back seat flips up, which gives me a lot more space in the back here. So I just have some buckets to keep everything separated, but basically we've got a fencing bucket, hammer, staples, fencing pliers, another bucket with some random stuff, extra oil. Always have a spare float for my water systems. They're monofoam filled. Those are good. Spare rollers, rain gear, rubber boots are back there. We've got a carpenter's belt. You know, when you go fencing, you want to have staples in front. It's all handy there. A little bit of a toolbox, a drill and drill bits, things like that. Water fittings, all sorts of water fittings. And one of the most important tools we have on the farm is actually the nut driver that fits a hose clamp. Because on all my water systems, I use these rubber joiners. And just a hose clamp connects them on. So that's one of the most sought after tools on my ranch right there is that nut driver. And we got fencing supplies, right? Extra gate handles, fencing insulators if we need them. And one thing that I always have as well, it's a trail cam. If I ever have an animal that's left behind or something, it's nicer, or if you're not sure if there's any left behind, nice to put up a trail cam and then I can, you know, it'll let me know when they're there. Always need a voltmeter, testing batteries, and of course fence tester is one of the most important tools as well. Make sure that we're able to keep those fences hot. So, and I guess a treatment box. Haven't needed it very much this year, that's for sure. We've done really well. Electric bungee cord, very handy, and I put that in with the little bit thicker poly rope, and that's how I make my gate handles, or my gates for my fences. So, and miscellaneous tools. We've got some more step-in posts there. Just a little bit of everything in there. So that's all the tools I carry around for my grazing management. And that just about sums it up, what you need to have a good sidekick. If you want more information, we definitely have a website, greenerpasturesranching.com, and our Facebook page is actually our most educational platform. Lots of ideas, lots of videos, lots of pictures, constantly updating that all the time. So if you want to follow it at Greener Pastures Ranching, we'd be happy to have you. Thanks, and God bless.